All right, so welcome to the OneDrive Unplugged session at the end of the day before everyone goes to Universal. So we're all at full attention. No one's worn out from the week. It should be pretty exciting. And I wanted to introduce the panelists a quick second here. I've got, what is this, 6 members of the team up here with me. Right here, I've got Hunter Donald. Hunter is our support guru, runs how we relate to customers and deal with issues coming into those things and make it happen. Say hi, Hunter. Patricia Hendricks. Pat is one of the program managers on the OneDrive Sync team. She has been on the OneDrive Sync team since it was called, well, Windows Live Sync, Folder Share, Live Mesh, all of them, right?
SkyDrive.
Yeah, SkyDrive. We have Navjot Virk. Navjot has been involved in file things forever. How many people here ever used client-side caching with their SMB shares and file sharing many, many moons ago? This is the person who wrote that code. And after doing all of that, she knew that the cloud would be a better way.
I saw the light.
We have Ahmed Gharib. Ahmed is one of our OneDrive mobile program managers, focusing in particular on iOS and all of the mysteries that Apple is. And Ahmed, do you have a word or two you want to say?
Use the mic.
Oh. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I've been on the OneDrive team since I was an intern like 4 years ago, and when it was SkyDrive too, so that was a good time. Yeah, that's all I got.
I don't think we're allowed to say SkyDrive here.
Oh. Okay.
SkyDrive.
Other drive name.
Yeah, they should cut that out.
It's just, yes. You guys keep it. All right. We have Mr. Ryan Gregg, also known as Mr. Developer. Ryan runs our platform team, knows everything about everything, programming languages. I don't really know what you do, Ryan, but I'm sure, I'm kidding. No, Ryan actually did a great session on Wednesday. I don't know if you went to it. If you've ever done anything with the Microsoft Graph with files, it's all about Ryan. And of course, we have Darren, who is his counterpart on the engineering side out in the crowd. Darren, say hi.
Hey, Darren. Random crowd shout out.
I brought like 40 members of the OneDrive team here in case there was any question I couldn't answer. This is going to be a fun session. All right. And of course, Mr. Stephen Rose. I think a man that needs no introduction, but Mr. Community, Mr. Windows.
I lead OneDrive for business product marketing, so it's great to be with everybody here today. And thanks for making us your last session before you go off and get drunk. So thank you.
All right. So we're
it's unplugged and unfiltered, the OneDrive team.
So we'll have people come up and do questions, but I thought I'd kick out a couple for the panelists on stage. Based on Twitter responses we got, Stephen reached out, I think, earlier this week to see kind of what questions would come up.
And thank you for everybody who responded back.
And so I think we're going to start with our first one, which is one of my favorite questions because I ask Ahmed every day. Ahmed, are you ready? I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right. When will support for HEIF and HEVC, the new photo and video file formats in iOS 11, come to OneDrive?
If you really like a question, you can clap too, which puts more pressure on him to get these things done.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask how many people knew what HEVC and HEIF were. Show of hands real quick. Anybody? No? Okay. Cool. That's actually the core of the problem. So when Apple announced iOS 11, they changed the image format. So before, when you took a photo, it was a .jpeg to a new format called .heif. It's actually called HEIF, but the format's .heic. It's super confusing. And the cool thing is that these images are like 40% smaller, which is really, really awesome. And we love that. But no computer in the world today, or most computers in the world today, can't actually open these files. And so we had a problem that we noticed in beta, that these files were getting uploaded in this new format and you couldn't open them anywhere. And so we did publish an update that turns those photos into JPEGs. So when you use them, when you go on your Windows PC, everything works just fine. And we're working on the video support as we speak. One of our developers, Vinny, is frantically in his office right now trying to figure it out. And there's also legal implications, but those aside, we're going to get it ready hopefully sometime next month.
Cool. Thanks, Ahmed. All right, first question down. Thank you. You don't have to clap when Ahmed answers a question, but if you feel like it was a useful answer, feel free.
Oh, yeah.
I will be working the crowd for you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
All right, next one up, Navjot, actually. I have a good one for you, and I didn't prep her on these, so this is going to be fun. How long can OneDrive retain user data for after it's been deleted?
Oh, easy. All files and folders, even after you delete them, they're recoverable. They're in your recycle bin for 90 days, so the user can go in and get any of the files back in 90 days.
Ooh, all right.
Snap.
90 days, a simple number, easy to remember. Yeah, I think so. No, right?
What was the question?
What was that dispute? Like after that, there's an admin delete.
So, no, the idea is that's the time that we guarantee the data is there, and you can bring it back. Obviously, we run a service. There are other circumstances where data might be recoverable, but that's what we publish. You have it for 90 days to go to a recycle bin and bring it back, and we just introduce restore, so you can roll back your entire OneDrive for any point in time, any second in the last 30 days. So you have that too.
All right, cool. Thank you, Navjot. All right, moving on to our next one. As you're formulating those new questions, please clap. Yeah. As you're formulating those new questions in your mind that you really want to ask, let's ask Pat a sync question, and then Hunter, I'm also going to have a sync question for you. Pat, what is the best way, and do we provide anything for getting reporting on sync client health?
Oh yeah, this is a really good question. And so as we get more sophisticated with the types of deployment tools that we offer you, one of the next evolutions of this is after you deploy, how do you stay informed and educated about how OneDrive is in use in your organization? And so the work that we're going to be bringing to you as part of vNext is thinking about how can we surface a set of smart dashboards for admins who can look into things like how many devices are connected, how many files are being uploaded, the amount of files that are actually in use, and to actually be able to give you more specific and more information around what the health of your sync client is. We get a lot of questions of like, great, there are some great registry keys that we can look at to see whether OneDrive is configured versus not, but how can we actually look into the health and get actionable data on the clients that are actually not healthy? And so what we need to do as a team is we know all of this information, but we want to surface it back to you in a way that is really understandable so you can actually take real quantifiable action and reach out directly to the users who are having problems and help get them set up again. And so that's going to be the next evolution of thinking that we're going to be doing.
All right, thanks, Pat.
No, go ahead if you have a question.
Yeah, let's come
But
up
you
to one
should
of the
come up to the
microphones.
mic so we can hear you. Timeline. All right, I can say the timeline, Patricia.
So we don't have any timelines to share just yet, and so we're working closely with our data teams to get this pipeline set up, and so we'll have more information to add probably by end of year, and so but no timelines quite yet.
You can keep an eye on we have a public site that lists our roadmap and all the features, and you can be known when one comes up and all that good stuff.
Yeah. All right, one last prepared question, and then I want folks to come to the microphones if you can so we can have it all recorded in the audio. Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
I was just going to, hello? Yeah, I was just going to add to Pat's answer, just to explain why it's taking us the time it is to get this done. So all the data that we get from all of the device health is actually anonymous, and we don't have any of the information about any users or anything about the actual identity of the user or the machine. So what we need to do is, on a tenant-by-tenant basis, re-merge that data back in with some identifier in a way that we can't see, but that you can see, because you'll want to know that it's Bob, and you want to call Bob, but we can't know that it's Bob. So it's slightly complicated. That's it.
Slightly complicated is always a fun answer. All right, thanks, Tony. All right, one last prepared question, and then we're going to go right into it. I just want to make sure I give Hunter a chance here. Hunter, and this is also related to Sync and related to this, what is the #1 troubleshooting tip for OneDrive Sync? As someone who is on the front lines every day, what's your #1 troubleshooting tip?
I'm going to cheat and give you two. The first one is get to know the restrictions and limitations article we have for the next generation Sync client. I think the article number is 3125202.
Can you say that again?
3125202. I probably submit a change to it at least once every other week or so, as we find new ways that customers are interacting with their files in OneDrive. So get to know that, and then don't print it out because it's going to change by the time you printed it. And then aka.ms/Sarah, S-A-R-A, is the support and recovery assistant for Office 365. We have a OneDrive for Business module in that tool. There's a bunch of other modules in that tool for other Office 365 workloads. We do some checks in that tool. We'd love your feedback on checks that are missing or remediations that you want us to perform. So make sure you give feedback as you use that tool if you're not satisfied with the result of it.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Hunter. All right, let's go to the real tough ones. You're up first. You came up front. It's very exciting. Please.
I was very excited. I feel like the 90-day retention answer is kind of a cop-out. You know, we're unplugged. We're all friends here. We got the whole product team here. We want the real answer. Like, isn't there a super secret second recycle bin? Maybe
let me ask you, what would be the ideal scenario for you? What would you like to see?
What would I like? You know, I don't know if I have something I'd like to see. I just want to really know what it is, you know, so I can communicate that, you know. You know, nothing has to leave this room. We won't tell anybody.
Oh, yeah.
This is
So
just
you can
between us.
communicate it, yes,
I get it.
yes.
This is a safe space. We're all in the circle here.
So I can give you a little bit of like color to that answer. The reason, so in theory, the data is available to you. We don't touch it. You delete it. It's soft deleted. It goes into your recycle bin, and we keep it there, and now the user can see it, and user can recover it. There are other things that do act on that data. It depends on what you're doing. This is OneDrive. In OneDrive for Business, you might have a preservation policy that runs on top of it. And the preservation policy might say that the data should be retained for 5 years. If data is supposed to be retained for 5 years, it'll be retained for 5 years. Now, the user will not be able to see it in their OneDrive anymore because the user did intend to delete it, but as a compliance admin, you'll be able to find it. So there are obviously circumstances in which the data stays longer. And the way the service works is, in the back end, something gets deleted, and so that's why I can give you like a specific number, but when something gets deleted, it basically goes into a queue for deletion for us. After 90 days, we're like, okay, it's ready for deletion, preservation, everything has happened. Now the file is ready for deletion. It goes into a queue, and then we have a job that runs and picks up the stuff and deletes it over time. We have multiple copies of your data for redundancy reasons. All of that needs to be deleted. So we do delete the file in terms of what would be file. Now there's more to it, because a file is made up of blobs. The metadata defines what is a file. The blob lives even longer. It's not associated with the metadata that could be recognized as a file anymore, and that happens in our system later over time. So there's multiple layers of how the system works. So in reality, before every bit vanishes, yes, there is time. But can you, as a user, go and find it? That's harder. But if something really, really terrible happens to you and you can't find that data anywhere, I always tell people, pick up the phone, call support. If we have a way to get it for you, we will actually try and find it for you, including those little bits that might be lying around on the disk for us. I hope that answered the question.
All right, cool. Let's do the next one.
All right, you guys ready for some tough ones?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you
right.
came with a list?
Yeah.
All right, first of all, what's your name?
Shiva.
Shiva, nice to meet you, Shiva. Welcome to the OneDrive and SharePoint team.
Cool. First and foremost, to the entire product team, I was at 2015 Ignite in Chicago. The first slide, we are sorry. You guys come a long way. Really good job.
Thank you. Thank you for bearing with us.
Yeah. Just want to make sure some of the limitations that were present and you addressed. I want to make sure that what's live today, what's the roadmap. I talked to Tony on a couple of them. So file size was 2 gigs, currently 10 gigabytes.
15.
15.
Yeah.
15.
More than our competitors.
Not true.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Dropbox at unlimited, depending on where you are. So any changes on that future state, or 15 is the limit?
The way I would talk about this is, we can go through the details, and I can actually have some of the folks talk about maybe where we're at in terms of file size. But I wouldn't imagine that any of those states is forever, because when we started 10 years ago, we had 10 megabyte files and 500 megabytes of total storage. And so if you ask the question of like, will that ever get bigger? Oh yeah, it's hard to imagine that won't happen in the future. I bet my phone will get smaller and all that kind of stuff will happen. In terms of specifics though, I don't know if there's much to say. Do we have someone who has anything to add on when file sizes get bigger and larger and grow from those things? No? All right. So I would say really on that, I'm just looking for one of the folks who'd say, I'm the expert. In that case, like we'd really look for what do you need? What do you want the size to be and when do you want it to be that size?
I think unlimited is probably not realistic, but just think about, you have a marketing team who works on heavy video content that's shared with partners. So sometimes this video content can be 20 gigabytes, right?
Yeah.
So
big,
I think
large
50
videos.
is probably reasonable, because what we're trying to eliminate is we have Dropbox box because of the size limit, and we want to consolidate all those services.
I want you to too.
Yeah. So address that limitation, and I'll bring back customers to not use it.
All right.
That's the first one.
All right. Let's do the next one. By the way, claps for that one. That's a good question. Thank you.
Yeah. URL sizes on SharePoint list and OneDrive, I think it's 500, as Tony mentioned yesterday. 400? That's...
Sorry.
Okay. So that's today, or is it to be released?
We're at 400. We went from 256 to 400.
And that's released already today?
It's already out.
Just to clarify the question, is that file name path or URL length? Those are different.
It's URL length.
What can
URL
I not
length.
sync?
Let's have Darren answer a little bit on that.
Yeah,
Darren,
so-
why don't you stand up, maybe quick introduction?
No, actually stand up, Darren. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Steven.
I'm Darren. I do engineering, but not on the thing I'm about to talk about. Yeah, so the 400 is the server relative path limit, and that's not going to increase anytime soon because it would require a lot of engineering to go higher than the 400-ish that it's at right now.
Got it. And I'll tell you, I'm the Microsoft guy at our company. When there were limitations, file size, file limits, we suffered through the journey of migration. So take that into account, because I can't tell people to rename their files, shorten the URLs, because users hate that.
So
Yeah,
I
fair
think
enough.
I want to add a little bit of, it's great feedback. You should definitely give it to us. We would love to hear how often you're running into this. The way the engineering team looks at it, we actually are very data-driven in these things. We actually look at it and see how many times people are trying to upload something to us or sync something to us, and it failed because the file size was not right or the length of the file name was too long. And we try to, like you said, unlimited would be hard, but we had to put some limit somewhere, and we try very hard to make sure that it works for 99% of our customers, for 99% of the data they try to upload. So we look at this regularly, and these numbers change, and people continue to look at it and see if we need to do more. But if you have specific feedback, we should talk about it, because our intention is that this should never become a blocker for you. If it is, let's talk about it.
Right, and part of the reason the data shows that is that if you go above max path in Windows, a lot of experiences degrade. So if customers are really running into this, I'm curious what they're doing and how the rest of their experiences are outside of SharePoint.
Yeah, I think the general behavior is everyone's wired to create folders, subfolders, right? So it's natural to get to a state where 400 is not going to be the file limit, right? And what the effect it has is you can't access it onto your devices that you regularly want to do that content manipulation.
Right.
So there's a productivity impact, and you take actions to address it that can lead to frustration, right? So that's the...
Right, absolutely. And asking everyone to rename their files is not good. I'm going to say, how many more questions do you have? Because I want to give everyone a chance to ask questions tonight.
Or we may just send you to the back of the line.
One more seems fair, everyone? We're good with that? Okay, one more, and then you can come back at the back of the line.
All right. Move to SharePoint.
Sorry, move as in the move verb.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone was talking about this with me today. Oh, you got...
On our roadmap.
Okay.
So you will be able to do it. It's on our roadmap. I don't have a committed date for it, but it's on our roadmap.
I'll take that.
All right. All right, I'm going to rotate around the room. I'm going to start in the far back over there with the gentleman at the microphone. Yes, you, sir. You look like you're ready. All right.
So, offline on mobile, I've got a client that he likes to put files on his iPad, take them offline, and then he wants, so a lot of the Word documents he works with have track changes and comments, which, so the whole workflow on mobile when you're offline seems a little broken. You can view the file, but then you try to edit it, and it says you got to be connected to the internet. If it's a file like a Word file with track changes, you can't see that in the preview. You have to open up Word. And then he also complains that when he's back online, if he is dealing with a document where he's just reading it and it's in an Office app, and this is really, I guess, more for Office than you guys, but the autosave is constantly kicking in even when he's not making any changes in the document and causing him to need to send changes up to the server.
The good news is those are close friends of ours, and we're happy to go and talk about it with them. But Ahmed, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the process in offline?
Yeah. So when it comes to offline, it's a great question, by the way. We first started with files, and then we looked at folders. Folders are a little bit trickier because we have to understand depth, and there's a lot that goes on there to figure out essentially how to build the sync client on the mobile platform. First thing, when it comes to like writing back changes, which you're right, we don't currently support that today, it's a little bit tricky on mobile because of the application model. So when they built iOS and Android, they were very much focused on how can we keep each app from impacting other apps. That way they avoided like viruses and dead processes and things like that. And so this is especially a problem in iOS where we don't know how when you offline something, we've told Apple that we would like to be able to do this and they're trying to figure it out, but there isn't a good secure method for us to pass data to Office. Office then edit that data and then hand it back to us to sync up those changes because that requires the data to go through the sandboxes. And they do a lot to kind of prevent that because like you have some advertisement companies that do that with, say, cookies, and they use that to track your advertisement data. So Apple's cracking down, and we're just trying to be good citizens and figure out the best way to do it. But we know it's a pain point. We want to fix it, and we're working with Apple and our friends in Office to figure it out.
So even with like extensions in iOS, there's no way to have a shared data store that you can?
So there is, but it's usually around your application. So for example, with our app, we have the OneDrive main app, and then we have the Files extension, which is what we're working on currently. And the way that works is the Files extension is kind of like another app that talks with our main app process, but at the end of the day, it communicates to the same database. The issue is that Word, Excel, PowerPoint have their own database that they have to maintain, and moving the data in between our databases and their databases gets a little bit tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Apple tried to introduce something to create like a live session. We're looking into it with them. It's super, super early, and we don't even know if it'll work for our purposes, but we're talking about it.
Okay.
That's a good question.
And as far as previewing some of those more fancier things in Word docs, any? So
the previewers.
if I've got track changes or comments in my Word doc, I can't preview them?
Yeah, so we're working with the Office team on that right now. I'm not sure if track changes specifically, but we're talking about comments and things like that, and how we can build a better, quick preview experience in our OneDrive apps as well.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you. I'm going to bring it down the front here. Go ahead.
I've got two questions. One is really easy.
Let's just do that one.
No, I'll skip that one then. All right, I'll go to the hard one. We're about to roll out OneDrive across the enterprise. We have a requirement that from an unmanaged personal device, we want to block people from downloading files to their personal device. So we're trying to implement conditional access. We're being told we need to enable first release for every user in the enterprise to do this. Is that true?
Hey, so for conditional access for sync, you have a couple options. So Conditional access isn't yet enabled broadly in production, but it is available as part of preview. And so if you want to preview conditional access for sync, what you can do is we have some online documentation at support.office.com on how you can use some registry keys to enable that ahead of general rollout. And so you definitely don't have to be part of like insiders for your entire organization. You can use that registry key. And we have had some organizations say, I'm not going to wait for general availability. I'm going to roll out conditional access for sync broadly ahead of rollout. So that is your choice. You know, keep in mind that it is a preview. We're really close with conditional access in particular. It is all about actually changing the authentication stack that the sync client uses. And so with that change, it's a pretty significant one such that we're very quality driven. So we're making sure that we hit that quality bar. And so we're really close. And so we encourage you, go ahead and opt into the preview, test it out, send feedback our way. And then if you choose to move more broadly to your organization, that's definitely your choice. But keep in contact with us too. With preview, we want to make sure that we get any type of feedback that you run into. So be proactive, send feedback our way about conditional access.
All right, I want to clarify it's conditional access on the web. Should I mention that, I guess?
So for conditional access on the web, you don't need to have your users in first release. The policy is in preview right now. So you do need to sign up for preview, and once you sign up your tenant for preview, you're good. Your users will get it. Now, we do recommend when you try something in preview, like even on the service side, since it's in preview, you need to be careful because if you roll it out to all of your users, you're basically taking a preview feature and rolling it out to everyone. That's why we recommend that you roll it out to first release users. We don't block you from doing it, but I think it's a good thing to do because it's preview, and if you run into some issues, you're impacting all of your users versus just the users who are in first release. So I would highly recommend doing that. That said, the policy has been in preview for some time, so it's going pretty well, and we expect to actually GA it in a month or two.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sir.
I asked this question at a OneDrive and SharePoint presentation session a couple of days ago. Wasn't really fully satisfied with the answer, so when I heard the whole product team was here, I went, score. Okay, let me ask this again. Our customer, the company I work for is in legal. One of the things that is an obstacle to our being able to really make the full use of OneDrive for Business the way that we would ideally like to is the inability to set up what they call an ethical wall, where if we have somebody inside the firm, this is all people who are inside our own company, you have one person who's representing Coke, another person who's representing Pepsi. We don't want them sharing files with each other through OneDrive. And the Microsoft paradigm seems to be, how can you possibly not want everybody in your company to share everything with everybody else? So is there, or could there be on the roadmap something that would maybe even leverage things like the Azure Active Directory Office 365 groups, where we could say people in this group are not allowed to share with people in this group?
That's a great question. First of all, I remember that question. Thank you. I'll just be clear, OneDrive and SharePoint love Pepsi and Coke equally. That's an important thing for this particular team. Eugene, do you want to handle that one?
Sure. Hi. So I'm Eugene Lin. I'm standing. I'm Eugene Lin, and I work on OneDrive and SharePoint on sharing and collab. So the question you bring up is a good one. It's a request we've heard from other customers as well. So to recap, make sure I understand, the scenario is that you have some users in your organization that you want to keep from sharing with other users in your organization. And so the question is, like, how do I do that? Especially because OneDrive is just kind of open within the org. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. A lot of it comes down to, like, what is the content you're trying to prevent them from sharing. So today what you can do is you can create a group that contains a set of people that can work together, a separate group that contains other people who can work together, and you can actually configure the site that goes with the group to say that members can't share with anyone who isn't in the group. That keeps them locked in the group. A work group can work together. You can have like a legal department that works with each other, and only the administrator of the group can add other people. That keeps them locked in. Now, you still have the challenge of how do you get everyone to put things into that place? That problem exists no matter what, because the more you lock down your stuff, the more likely they're just not going to put it anywhere in Office 365 at all. That said, we are looking at options for making it easier for people to play things into the right place. That includes looking at classification and labels. But really the problem comes down to more, how do you get people to put things in the right place rather than how do you get them to stop sharing? And if you let them talk, for example, like exchange email, or if your ports are open so that they can use other products, they can always communicate bits back and forth, and so it's really about how do you manage it. But you can lock down a group so that people can't share outside the group, and that will at least keep them contained, assuming you get the right content into that group.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. All right, in the back there.
Hey, so I work for a government organization where we basically have to retain all the versions on a document, public records, the whole thing. We're actually a box customer looking at OneDrive. One of the things that we spend a lot of time troubleshooting is the sync clients for some of the third parties. With the on-demand feature with OneDrive, are you planning on opening up those APIs to some of your competitors so that they can build better integrations? Because sometimes the file structure or the security structure that the Windows file system has doesn't necessarily marry up to the security that's in some of these cloud-based file systems. So wanted to know if those APIs are going to be opened up, kind of like what iOS 11 is doing, where they're allowing more native integration with some of the cloud storage providers.
Sure. Ed, do you want to take that, or Ed now?
Hi, my name is Ed Abbott. I'm one of the guys from Files on Demand. In general, I'd say we're building on an open platform. What you're really looking at is like, we've taken the time to really net out the platform the way we believe is right for our customers to marry to the service and to the file system. Every API we use is a publicly documented API. Where you're unhappy with a sync client, it's not ours. We've got a great one. We'd love you to come take her there. But they can do it. But like, you have to put a huge engineering effort into it. Like, sync is one of the things we typically refer to as about the hardest problem you can have. And so it's there. Now, we've done a whole lot there to build you the best possible sync experience that marries to our service.
Got it. So no new APIs were necessarily introduced with the fall creators update that
New APIs were introduced with Fall Creators Update. We designed it with the Windows team. They're all public APIs, so people can build to them. But it's like any other software engineering project. You got to spend the time to go build the code out.
Right. Okay, thanks.
All right, cool, thanks. We're back in the corner again.
Hi. This question is related to version history. Maybe this is more pertains to SharePoint. Do you support multiple file types within the version history? Let's say I have a doc, I'm just upgrading it to docx, but I just want it to be part of the version history. Similarly, sometimes docx becomes PDF. So just having that whole trail of the version history in certain use cases makes a perfect sense. I've not seen a support in any of the version history you provide, so I'm just wondering.
Yeah. That's a great
if it's accomplishable. If not, is there a clean, clever
No, it's a really good question.
idea?
So this is, I had a document, I'm working on it, and then I convert it to another format. What I heard, though, is every time the file name is changing, including the extension as well. And I suspect that is going to be the crux of the matter. John, do you want to talk a little bit about the version history overall?
Yeah, so John Rodriguez, work with OneDrive and SharePoint. Version history, I'm pretty certain it'll actually just show as a new file, which then means you will have version history on that new file. However, as you saw maybe this week with the point-in-time recovery feature that we will be having, you will actually be able to see that histogram and go back in time to see what files are changing and what your OneDrive looked like beforehand. So I'm not really sure if that answers your question or helps you, but as of right now, to my knowledge, we will start a new file and it will show the version history of that new file.
All right.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Up front.
Hi. Files Restore, thank you very much. That's great.
Awesome.
Some quick questions. This works for files in SharePoint sites, right?
Mhm.
And OneDrive for business.
Mhm.
What about personal OneDrive?
We'll talk about personal OneDrive at a future date.
Okay, it's not critical. And the other one is, when is it available on Windows 10? Is it now?
For Files Restore?
Yeah.
Files Restore will be available by the end of the year.
By the end of the year. Thank
Yes.
you.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, we missed you. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I was starting to weep.
Jason, go hug him.
We have a whole member of the whole single team. Fine, I'll go do the hug. We'll get this done.
That's the love that OneDrive offers every one of you customers. OneDrive is the hug that makes you feel good.
All right,
I
what's
do.
the question?
I feel better. And then
See?
In a kind of odd sort of way. Anyway, seriously now. OneDrive sync, using OneDrive on non-persistent VDI. That's always been a problem. Is that something that's being addressed?
Yeah. Tony, Adam, we're going to
Yeah,
go on
actually,
you
this
up
is a
here.
good Tony question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Adam Seisler, work in OneDrive and SharePoint. So, did you see the Files on Demand demo at all? No?
Yeah.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, one approach that we think is really good for this. Basically, we don't actually sync the content on the drive. So if your VDI goes away, that's okay. We can sync the files very quickly. Does that sort of answer your question?
Yeah, that answers it. I mean, we have about 8,000 Citrix VPCs. Has that been tested on other vendors' platforms?
We haven't, but I mean, it's, they emulate Windows, and so we work on Windows, so it should be fine.
Okay.
In theory.
I'll go back to my manager and say, they said
Never
it should
let the
work.
engineers answer questions. I'm a program manager, so I can wave my hands more. No. So the big trick with VDI is we don't get callbacks from the file system when things change locally. So we don't know that the things changed. So what ends up happening is when we start up, we do a scan. So it starts up and everything's in sync. It's beautiful. Something changes on another endpoint. We get the notification. We sync. If you change a file during that session, it gets persisted back to your storage, which is virtually attached, and then we don't get notified. So we don't sync. So if something else causes, like if you edit a Word document and that causes us to do a resync, we'll grab it. So it just feels like it's inconsistent. Like you don't know why it works sometimes, it doesn't work other times. Once you understand why it's not working well, that's why. And we have to work through some of these issues. The Files on Demand platform is a great way because we can build up and tear down the metadata namespace really, really easily. And so we can do some things to sort of say, hey, everything should always stay in the cloud. So as soon as you upload it, dehydrate it, and do some other things and work with the VDI folks to make sure that when we end a VDI session, we're all good before we say goodnight.
And then, no, you're right. So if it is a remote, like an SMB share, we won't get those notifications like Tony said. But, my understanding is you can configure it so the files are saved locally. The profile is local to that box, and then we will get the notifications. So it's basically like, yeah, it depends on the flavor, and FS Logic has their own flavor. There's many different flavors, but I guess the point is Files on Demand puts us in a place where we can provide a really nice seamless solution for that scenario.
Cool.
So,
Thanks.
So hang on. So I just wanted to be a Debbie Downer. If you were to call and tell me you were doing this tomorrow, I would have to tell you it's not supported. So you'll just need to wait until we have a more...
No, I think you transferred the call to Adam.
Right. So, and the other thing I would tell you too, there have been a lot of demos in the booth done by the product team where they were showing some really neat ways that you can use things like the attrib command to programmatically make changes. I've already had a couple of questions where customers are wanting to use VDI and the attrib command programmatically to dehydrate files and rehydrate files on log on and log off to get around the supportability statements around VDI. So if you call support and tell us that you're doing that, we will very likely tell you you're not supported at this time and to wait until we have a more formal statement on the supportability of the feature.
We love you, Hunter.
I'm
going to
weep again.
Really quickly, wanted to follow up on the version history. We actually just tested it right here through the Graph APIs. As long as you are using a rename, it will actually allow you to restore to the previous versions. Obviously, if you do a copy, it would be a new file, and you would see all the versions there. So just want to follow up on that.
All right. Where was I? Were you? I think we were going here next. You're just going to be forever. I will get to you, I promise.
Please skip me and I'll get a hug after. So we have an issue with sync clients. So we have remote offices. Our data is in Canada, and so sometimes, like, I don't know if they get a network drop or something, and then the sync errors occur. And when they have the option, like, to merge in Office, it just doesn't react, doesn't do anything. They don't get an error message, and it just, so then they're stuck, like, doing it manually.
It's just an error state, and it doesn't seem to resolve itself.
Yeah, so, like, typically it would open up in Office, and then you can merge your versions, but it's just not doing anything.
Gotcha. Honestly, that one sounds like a really good bug. So if you want to report that problem to us, in the little cloud icon in the bottom right corner, you can right-click and click report a problem. And I'll even follow up with you offline. I'll give you my email, and you can forward that problem my way.
Sure, thanks.
Cool, thank you.
Oh yeah, also make sure you're on the latest version of Office.
Yeah. All right, we're still going around, buddy. I know. But you and I will get special time.
This one should be fairly easy. We are just started Azure. And the lowest hanging fruit are 10 different file servers, one in each of my offices, that have a bunch of just a bunch of crap that is too important to delete, but too important to go through, and nobody has time. And one of the Azure guys suggested dump it all in OneDrive. Is that a viable option? Good. The only requirement really is a map drive, and there's very little ACL on it, so really if it made it disappear and that wasn't an option, that wouldn't be the end of the world.
Is this shared content?
Yeah, it's like the shared data folder for each office.
Yeah, so we wouldn't say go put it in OneDrive. We'd say move that to SharePoint, to a group and a team set in SharePoint. Navjot, do you want to talk to that briefly?
Well, let me just say, real quick, we don't have a SharePoint guy, so anything on that side, and we have really unsophisticated users who are just starting to use OneDrive, so that's why I thought it might be a viable option.
So I think what Jason was getting at is our general guidance is OneDrive is meant for your data, and Teams is meant for when you collaborate with other people. So if the data is primarily owned by a user and the user wants to share with a few people, that's fine because OneDrive belongs to a user. But if your intent is that this data is going to be shared and it belongs to a team or a particular office or a branch, then you really want a team site. And a team site file experience is not any different than a OneDrive file experience now. We've actually done a lot of work to make sure they're actually the same. So I would highly encourage you to look at it. There's no huge overhead here of adding a team site versus an ODB and trying it out, because you will actually, for long term, you'll find it much better that you picked a team site. Because if you put it in somebody's ODB, the user leaves, then what? Who does it belong to? Who's the owner anymore? How are you going to keep track of who's using it? It's just easier when it's in a team site because your permissions are set correctly for future.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
I'm just going to add one more thing from like the end user's point of view. If you're worried about it's another location, their team site content will show up in the OneDrive website, and when they go there, they can also make it show up on the OneDrive sync engine, and it'll also show up on their mobile device. And so for the end user standpoint, while you might store it in a SharePoint team site, you can just very easily tell them, you just go to this one location, whether it's your file or your team's file, it'll be there.
Yeah, cool, thank you. All right, we'll do that, and then we're gonna skip around, I think. 2 minutes left, oh my. We were definitely gonna get to you though.
Okay, hopefully this will go. It's on? Hopefully this will go quickly. So files on demand, is there a roadmap and timeline for the Mac?
A roadmap and timeline for the Mac. Ed, do you want to talk to that real quickly?
I think this is a question you can answer.
Oh, I can answer it.
Or I can answer, yeah.
No.
Shocker.
Sorry, yeah.
Not
what would
yet.
you like? What would you like? What I'd really say on that is we've done a lot of work to build files on demand with the Windows team and building it in a way that we felt really was robust, reliable, and performant. And so what you see in Windows 10, if you've played with it in Insider's preview, it's gone really well for us. Folks seem to be really excited about it. The positive feedback has been coming in. But that took a lot of groundwork in order to enable that and build it in the right way that would allow the platform to succeed. We think it'd be interesting to do in other places, but that's really going to come at the cost of other work. So the interesting thing for us is how important is that to you? How important is that to the rest of the world? And what do folks want us to do in priority for those things? So for example, definitely reach out through your TAM. if you have feedback, anything you want. User voice is another great place to kind of make clear your feelings and the things you would like us to go do. And then when we have plans as those things evolve, we'll definitely share.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool. All right. We have 20 seconds left. Go.
Quick questions. All right. First, I keep hearing
No.
multi-field support
Oh,
for
sorry,
OneDrive is coming out. When's the preview? When's the GA? And if we are already in the preview for Exchange Online, what happens to the users that also have OneDrive?
So I'll answer it in 2 seconds. Coming in, available for public preview end of this year.
Okay.
GA first quarter of next year. If you put a user in multi-geo preview for SharePoint, for OneDrive and for Exchange, you will get your mailbox in the same location and the OneDrive in the same location.
So if
it
it's
all
already
works together.
set, it'll just move there when we
Correct,
enroll.
exactly. There's a single preferred data location. Yes.
One other quick question. Is there any plan to ever put Sway data in SharePoint or OneDrive because it's in Azure and it's not e-discoverable and the whole doesn't work and it's just a mess? Sorry.
So today, all the data, SharePoint and OneDrive essentially has one file store in the backend, and it's used for files and lists. And Sway, we talk to all the, anytime somebody comes up with a new scenario at Microsoft that's storing data, we definitely have the conversation to figure out if the right place to put in the cloud and where is the right place to put in the cloud. And sometimes a team picks to go with Azure because it's quick to get there, but then we figure out. So this is a conversation for us to have with that team, but it's not on the roadmap as of now.
All right.
Cool. All right, we are at time. Thank you so much for attending today. We're going to end the session. If you still have questions, feel free to come on up. We've got the whole team here. I'm sure we can answer a whole bunch of them right now and help get you on your way.